and Naas, or does it refer, which are men in the previous ayah, or does it refer to the whisperer? Does it refer to the whispered to, or the whisperer? Some scholars said this, and some scholars said that, and it's applicable. It could refer to the whisperer, and it could refer to the whispered to. But most of the scholars say it's in reference to the whisperer, the one who whispers. The one who whispers could be from among the jinn and men. From among the jinn and men. And Yusuf Ali translates this, min al-jinnati wal-nas, as among jinn and among men. Shakir, from among the jinn and the men. Piktal, of the jinn and of mankind. Muhsin Khan, of jinns and men. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in these verses tells us about the nature of the shaitan. The nature of the shaitan. The job or the profession of the shaitan, his work, and the origin of the shaitan. The first verse, which is verse number 4, this one, min sharri al-waswas al-khannas, tells us about the nature of the shaitan. He is the sneaking whisperer, the slinking prompter. This verse, alladhi yuwaswisu fi sudur an-nas, tells us about his job, his work. And this one tells us about his origin, that he belongs to men or mankind and jinn. So the shaitan is not only restricted to the jinn, but there are also shayateen al-ins, the shayateen of al-ins, the devils of mankind. Sayyid Qutb in his book In the Shade of the Quran, Fi Dhilal al-Quran, has this to say about the shayateen of the ins, the devils of mankind. He says, as for humans, we know a great deal of their curious ways of whispering and prompting, and some types, like the following, are more devilish than the devil. A bad companion who injects evil into his companion's heart or his comrade's heart and mind while he's unaware, as he is thought to be trustworthy. A ruler's counselor or advisor who whispers to him and turns him into a destructive tyrant. An unscrupulous slanderer who fabricates and decorates tales and makes them sound factual and convincing. A hustler of immoral business and dealings who tries to get through to people by exploiting their sexual and sensual and unhealthy desires. 100 other whisperers who lay various types of traps inconspicuously, utilizing people's different weak points which they detect and look for. But this description very much applies to the people who are in the advertisement business. That's what they look for, people's weaknesses. At the end, there is this hadith from Imam Ahmad, reported by Imam Ahmad, in which he reports from Abdullah ibn Abbas that a man came to the Prophet ﷺ and said to him that I talk to myself, or I say to myself, things that I would rather drop from the heavens and not speak them, and the Prophet ﷺ said to him, Alhamdulillah alladhi radda kaydahu ila al-waswasa. Praise be to Allah, who limited his power to whispering, who limited the power of the shaitan to whispering. Praise be to Allah, who limited the power of the shaitan to whispering. Alhamdulillah alladhi radda kaydahu ila al-waswasa. So the Prophet did not blame him, and in other reports that are in even Bukhari and Muslim, people came and asked the Prophet ﷺ about things or misconceptions they find in their heart, and they wish to get rid of them. The Prophet said, "Awajadtumuh, have you found it?" They said yes, and he said, ذَلِكَ صَرِيحُ الْإِيمَانِ. This is the clear indication of your iman. It's a clear indication of your iman that you resist it, that you dislike it, that you wish you don't have those suspicions thrown into your heart by the shaitan, and you try to resist and fight them. That's a clear indication of your iman. So the shaitan has only the power to whisper to us, and it is us who determine whether we will listen to the whispers or not, will be influenced by the whispers or not. But he was not given any more power by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to dictate to us, to control us, other than the power of whispering. Yet, the statements that Allah used here are indicative of the permanency and constancy of the struggle between mankind and the shaitan, and that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used the adjectives to refer to the nature of the shaitan and not the verb, because it's an endless battle. And once you embark on it, that's when you reach your age of puberty, that's when you start to become accountable. You should not ever drop your weapons until you die, because if you drop your weapons, you cannot make sure, certain, that once he besieges your heart completely, you will be able to run away. So do not be taken captive by him, and remember your weapons. And your weapons is the remembrance of Allah, which does not only mean to say La ilaha illallah, but it's to feel it, to believe it, and to act upon it. جزاكم الله خير. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت